Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. It's Disney Dave reporting live from Orlando, Florida. I'm leaving Orlando today, heading up to New York City for a few days. I have stand-up shows Sunday and Tuesday. If you want to see those shows, go to my Instagram at dneals, and you can catch all that content there. Now, we've got this story I'm going to get into. Clare's new guy says not so fast. There's all these rumors and news stories that Clare's dating this new guy. So he releases sort of a quick PR thing saying, hey, it's not what you think. It's not a big deal. And it's like, listen, you don't know Bachelor Nation. Everything is a big deal here. So we'll get into this story. I'll share what he said. Stick around for that. And then I've got two other pieces of content coming your way. A Colton Underwood sort of update. He's got his new Netflix show coming out December 3rd. I know a lot of people don't want to watch it. I will be covering it, seeing if he talks about Cassie Randolph, or is it just going to be about his coming out? We'll be tracking that story, if you know what I mean. So stay in touch for that. That'll be coming out later today. And then also, Zach and Tayshia news. Brendan Moraes wants them to get back together, but also we pulled up some shade that Tayshia threw at Brendan. So could Brendan be the one who takes the high road in this whole scenario? We'll have that story coming up next. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this content. I'm recording this way before sunrise here on Friday morning, Black Friday. Black Friday has become sort of a gluttonous American tradition where we throw a lot of money at cheap Chinese-made toys. Let's face the facts. Did you guys know that on Black Friday, the corporations literally make less quality products so they can slop you guys this junk? Just so you know, you don't need to go shopping today. I've got you all covered. That's not the clip I wanted. I've got you all covered. Here we have it, the Holiday Toy Drive. Now, my graphic designer, Lauren L. Dog, thank you so much for all the love. Put together this nice little graphic of Tasha, myself, and Boone as a reindeer. We've got a charity toy drive happening with the Marines Toys for Tots. And let me tell you something about this toy drive. We're going to raise $10,000, and we're going to raise it really quick, and we're probably going to raise a lot more, and I need your help. If every single person who regularly watches my channel donates $1, we'll hit $100,000 real fast. If you have a couple extra dollars and you want to throw it into this charity, I will be so indebted to you. You know, I was raised by a single mom myself, and we always had Christmas presents to open up thanks to the charity of a lot of other people. So if you have it in your heart to help out with this charity, it'll provide some Christmas presents to underserved communities all across the country. Thank you so much in advance. There'll be a link in the description of this video, and you can donate whatever your heart so desires. I'll be reading everyone's donations during Vlogmas, every day, daily updates, and sharing it with you guys. Again, this is Dave Neal's Bachelor Nation Toy Drive, and all of the funds go directly to the charity. I don't touch a penny. So I appreciate you guys so much for, and you're going to hear a lot about this. We're going to watch this charity grow the whole Christmas season. Thanks in advance. This is the first time I'm announcing it. No donations yet, so be the first person to donate. All right, Clare's new guy says not so fast. So initially, here's the first article that came out. Inside Bachelorette's Clare Crawley and Jeff Dye's casual romance after Dale Moss split. It's nothing serious. Now, if you guys know me, I've covered Clare Crawley, like a fly on poo. I've been all over this story, like white on rice, right? So Jeff Dye is a comedian. I've actually never met him personally, but I know friends that have performed with him. Seems like a nice guy. Dated Kristen Cavallari, and now he's went on a date with Clare Crawley. As you guys know, I shared this clip. I'm not going to play it, but I shared this clip a few weeks back of Clare when she was in Los Angeles going to the Lakers game. She went with Jeff Dye, and I was like, this is interesting. No one's making any news stories about this. Turns out they had a mutual friend who's like this PR person who gets, celebrities, good seats and this and that. So they weren't trying to hide anything, but they weren't really canoodling, no PDA, none of that. With that said, was it a date? It seems to be. Now, at the time, we thought Clare may have been getting back with Dale Moss because Dale was spotted at the same hotel that Clare's PR person was spotted at, which I believe, was it the Standard? It was one of those bougie hotels. Point being, it seems like they all kind of got the same sort of deal. So in this article, it was reported that they're, casually seeing each other. And of course, then the next article comes out, Claire's boyfriend, and it just spirals out of control like the cesspool of this gossip media that it is. She was set up with Jeff since they have mutual friends, a source exclusively tells Us Weekly. Claire agreed to go on the date because she thought he was handsome. The 38-year-old comedian certainly has a type. They went on a date to a Lakers game early November, and then they met for coffee while he was doing stand-up comedy shows in San Diego. You never want to date a comedian. Let me tell you that, Claire. If you're worried about Dale Moss not being there for you, a traveling comedian's not going to be there as well. It doesn't work until it works. You know what I mean? Luckily, my relationship has made it past that threshold where we figured out how to work our quality time together. They live in 2 different cities, so it's nothing serious, the source says. And then the second source says they're just friends. So clearly, they went from being friends to being in a committed relationship by the end of the article. So, of course, it says that Dale Moss and Clare Crawley split for a second time. The pair met in November 2020, got engaged after 2 weeks of filming the series. Every video that I'm making connects through Tayshia somehow. So Tayshia dated Colton. Then she did, and I'm not blaming Tayshia for this. She's been on the reality show for several seasons, so it all adds up. Tayshia replaced Claire. Tayshia dated Zach and dated Brendan Moraes. It's this human centipede that goes on and on. We're hoping that they all get back on the dating market and find their own happiness. But of course, it's always good to find your happiness within before you try to find it in others. So anyway, Jeff Dye's response is right here. I'll play you his response and we'll skedaddle out of here. Jeff Dye addresses Clare Crawley dating rumors. And this is a great chance to work in some comedy. Since my breakup, I basically just do comedy, write, yoga, and watch late night short films about romance, Jeff Dye told us. I met Claire and she's awesome, but if sitting by someone at a Lakers game means I'm dating someone, I guess me and my friend Richard have been in a relationship for years. Breaking news, Jeff is dating Richard. Jeff and Dick. The Girl Code alum noted that there were 3 women with him at the game earlier this month, and it was hardly a date. Hardly a date. So not exactly wasn't a date. It was just hardly a date. I'm sure Claire's like, it felt like a date to me. I put on my black leather jacket. I put on my first date leather jacket. I'd love to get a leather jacket with merchandise that says first date leather jacket, just so like the guy knows what's up. He's like, oh shoot, we're doing it. We're putting leather jackets on. It's going to be a good night. Hit the button of the woman saying, oh no. Claire agreed to go on the date because she thought he was handsome. By the way, no guy wants to be told he's handsome from anyone but his mom and his aunts. You know what I mean? Say he's cute. He's got sex appeal. He's a comic. They met for coffee after the Lakers game, blah, blah, blah. While the source noted that Bachelor in Paradise alum and the Seattle native are still talking, they're not in a serious romance since they live in different cities. Talking means sending dirty photos to each other, at least where I come from. The California native was previously engaged to Dale Moss. We got all of that. So look, we'll keep an eye on the story. It's worth noting. It's one of those like, all right, noted, following your Instagram now. We'll see how it goes. But at the same time, I don't know if they're going to be making babies anytime soon. Claire Dye. Jeff and Claire Dye. That sounds like a good little couple there. He's at the age 38, where he's probably trying to settle down too. She says, Claire said about her relationship, if my biggest regret is trusting the process, trusting a man's words and who he showed me he was, I don't think that's a regret. I trusted somebody. I believed somebody that they were who they said they were and that they would hold up to the promises that they make when they get down on one knee. And my response to all that is we say we trust the process, but then we have to remember this show is just baloney, Someone left this comment. Let's read it. It's about Katie's relationship, but it's apropos to most of these relationships. I'm going to read this for you in a second. This is about Katie, Blake, and their drama, but it applies to all. Is anyone listening to themselves? Katie dated multiple men on TV, then got dumped by Greg one minute and got engaged to Blake the next. They were young and optimistic and believed that they would make it work. Nope. It was harder than they thought. Her aunt called it. And what a world we live in when we root these people on to get engaged within weeks and then there's an uproar when they move on too quickly in real life. She had to move on from Greg in days. I believe that he was going to be the one and she just didn't want to give too much away on camera. If only Greg was secure within himself and waited. Could she have handled the situation with Blake and John better? Probably. But Katie does what Katie wants to do and that's what people liked about her and now they don't. This whole Bachelor experience messes with your head, I'm sure. Just look at Hannah Brown trying to fan the spark with Tyler and Peter after the fact. Regular rules and timelines don't apply if in these relationships, if you can call them that. Let Katie make her 20-something-year-old mistake. She's 30. Sheesh. Have some grace, people. She will learn and grow from it. Dave, this is the most I've ever typed on your on any channel. You got me riled up. I could feel your energy through my screen. People are getting triggered left, right, and center and saying all kinds of crazy stuff clearly. Keep up the good work and sharing your points of view and encouraging people to go to therapy. Doing the Lord's work. LOL. Thank you so much, Mandy. Davies Neal here. So yeah, the point there, and the point is that we treat these relationships as if they're the same relationships that you and I have in real life, and it's just not the same. There's so much else that's involved with them monetizing their careers, and you might not like it, but that's just the way it is. It is what it is at the end of the day, and that's all there is to it, folks. More content coming your way. Please, if you have it in your heart, donate something to the toy drive, and I will share all the updates with you guys moving forward. See you guys at my New York stand-up shows on Sunday and or Tuesday, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye, everybody.